Hi, Gerhard Bloom, looking at the tyranny and the delusions of the social justice movement. So let's look at the question of how liberals became so lost. I am absolutely shocked that liberals continue to offer their support to critical race theory and its divisive, racist, tribalizing agenda. And they continue to vote for the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has been ideologically captured by these radical leftists. It's awful. And they renounce their values while doing so. Liberals, recall, are defined by their commitment to individual rights, including equality under the law, for free speech, for the right of people to be judged on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. And critical race theory, it explicitly rejects all of those ideals. It rejects equality for the sake of this Marxist concept of equity. Wealth and social opportunities must be redistributed along racial lines. Yes, they believe this, and it's happening. And merit-based admissions and hiring, oh no. Those are implicitly racist. Well, how do we know? Disparate incomes. Except, of course, in the NBA, the NFL, and rap music. And then, well, it's not racist, notwithstanding the racial disparities, it's actual merit. And the SAT? Oh no, that's racist. Again, disparities. Except, of course, how is it that Nigerian Americans who are black do very well on the SATs? In fact, they do better on average than white students. Chinese students, same thing. So no, the SAT scores aren't culturally biased, they're not systemically racist. The black students just aren't showing up with adequate preparation and hard work. So now we have to treat racially oppressed groups differently. And so black violent criminal thugs arrested by the police are set free by progressive district attorneys, and they are then allowed to continue to victimize their communities. You see, these black victimizers under this description are actual victims. They're the true victims of an oppressive, exploitative, systematically racist society. And what about the actual victims here? Well, leftists don't like to talk about them too much. Right? And yes, most of the victims of black crime are black. But in terms of interracial violence, blacks aren't being picked on. They are 88% more likely to attack whites than whites are to attack and victimize blacks. That is a fact. And what do we do about all the black victims of black crime? You know, the dozens of little kids killed in the black inner city by gun-wielding, drug-dealing thugs, right? Well, leftists haven't quite answered that little paradox yet. And yes, we need to ban hate speech. Who gets to decide what constitutes hate speech? Leftists do. Critics are, by definition, upholding systemic oppression, whether they know it or not, and so they must be silenced. Voices like me, they want my voice silenced, right? Nonsense. I'm speaking out against the lies. And yes, I have the evidence. And the system oppresses people of color, so they need to be protected and thus have racially segregated dorms and graduation ceremonies. In case you didn't know, this is now a common practice across universities and campuses. Yes, racially segregated dorms and graduation ceremonies, because black students and other people of color can't be stigmatized or, traumatized by being in the presence of white students. It is awful. It's racist, and it's fueling racial division and animosities. And once racial division and hatred and violence starts to manifest itself, it can pick up a momentum all of its own and can be very difficult to stop. Extremely difficult to stop. You know who likes this language of racism? Neo-Nazis, actual neo-Nazis. They love this anti-racism because it's fueling their movements. There's an excellent book by Carol Swain, The New White Nationalism, and she talks about this explicitly. This is polarizing the United States and Canada. this racial division and tribalizing. It needs to stop. And liberals, you need to stand up and give voice to your liberal values. This Marxist leftist ideology, if you think it's a continuation of the civil rights movement, you are utterly deluded. You've been lied to. It is not. This is cultural Marxism, and it's coming for you. It's coming for you. Please pick up a copy of my book, Deconstructing Social Justice, available on Amazon. Not important because I wrote it. I wrote it because the issues could not be more important. Thank you.